about a year ago, I uploaded a very dramatic video entitled When You Lose Everything, which, although being very dramatic, was also coming from a very personal and earnest place, and I felt it very necessary at the time to share it. So much has changed for me. I feel like it's necessary now for me to share something about all that's happened. But over the last few months, I've really struggled to come up with anything to share in a follow-up video. And so I'm just kind of recording this without anything really to say. Other than so much has happened, and it is true what they say, in that everything really does soften with time, for the most part. And I suppose I'm also recording this video because it's been about 8 months since there's been an upload on this channel. That feels weird because it's not like I've really stopped filmmaking. Quite the opposite, in fact. I have been doing non-stop amounts of it over the last year. Only up until recently, really, where I kind of took a break because I was so burnt out. I think if I did any more, I would have just collapsed. And now here I am, turning 20 this week, and I'm in England, and I'm all by myself. For the most part, I mean, I have friends dotted all over the place in this country, but I'm living with people who I'd never previously met, working a job that was new to me with people who I didn't know before I started there. And it's been a really wonderful experience so far, and something really different, which was important because I was really clinging to filmmaking as a coping mechanism last year, which is also something I wanted to address in this video and just say that I'm really grateful to everyone who helped me make the films I was trying to make last year. In a few days, I'm sharing a film on here entitled The Holes You Try to Hide, the title of which is a line taken directly from a Black Country New Road song, Bread Song. The film is basically a one-to-one depiction of my 2023, as it happened, because I had my camera on me basically the whole time. It was really what I used to get through the year. But from another perspective, it is the story of me losing a film I had shot in its entirety that I was going to edit. And in that distress of losing it, I was so sad and clinging onto so many different things, people, music, whatever. And I bought a concert ticket for my favorite band, that being Black Country New Road, and kind of tried to make it to the UK to go see them because, I was in South Africa and they probably would never go to South Africa. They would probably never go to South Africa, at least not for a long time. I mean, I do see they're going to China, Australia, New Zealand. Very cool of them. And at the time, I was like, this would make me really happy to be able to go see them live in October. But I wasn't going to go and leave just for like 2 weeks or whatever, for a little holiday. At this age, I really want to travel. And so I kind of made it a whole big thing that I was going to basically stay out here in the UK for about a year, a couple of months, less than a year maybe. And so I said, okay, well, if I'm going to do that, I need to finish whatever's happening with this film that I lost, because I basically restarted, or at least started on a new version of it. And so that was what I did. I freaking went to work, wrote a bunch of new scenes, and returned to my old school. And I'm so grateful to everyone who freaking accommodated me through that process, because I was a little obsessive. It really felt like if I didn't do that film, that I would never be able to do any films again. I don't know. It was the kind of thing that losing the original version of that film was so traumatic because of just how much I had put of myself into it that I couldn't end it on a bad note. And I'm really thankful that I didn't necessarily, because of the way in which everyone kind of flocked to help me when I asked for their help. Friends and pastime collaborators, there was a casting process, people helped me out with that, and documentary subjects returning to be documentary subjects, and people memorizing lines and doing entire scenes. There are so many people I'm indebted to with regards to this project, and I'm not going to go through all the names here. However, if you do want to see more about that, there is an Instagram post I shared that was just a little roundup thank you post, and in the description of that I kind of listed everyone and what they did and how great they were in brief, because it's hard. There's a freaking caption limit on Instagram. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I don't think people should be having captions that long. But if you would like to see that, it's down below in the description. And yet, on that note as well, I worked on a whole bunch of projects last year which weren't shared to this YouTube channel. So in spite of there not being an upload in here in about 8 months, I haven't not been doing anything. There was a conservation film which I did for Youth for Conservation about the Saving Sandfish initiative in the Cederberg. That's a really wonderful film filled with a lot of wonderful, interesting people and friends of mine, just doing some good old honest work conservating. Then I also did 2 music videos, one with a pastime collaborator actually who I worked with about 2 years ago to this date on a music video for his joint rap project. No Sleep, that was a music video entitled Calm Your Soul, and I linked up with him now for a solo single entitled Getting Vexed. We kind of did a little tour around Cape Town and filmed all the sites, and he had some really cool clothes on and stuff, and you can see that down below in the description. And then I also, upon arriving in England, after seeing the Black Country New Road show in London, I went down to Brighton and I shot a music video with Tulu Grey for their single Eyes Closed, and also got a bit of the scenery of Brighton in there, so be sure to check that out too. My first film, I guess, abroad. Very interesting to say, kind of. And also I was doing so much stuff for Brick Film Day in the background. I organized the summer contest last year, which was crazy. And right now they're recreating the entire Lego movie into stop motion, which is insane. Be sure to check out the trailer for that. All of these things will be linked below, so please do check them out if you haven't already, because that project is definitely worthy of some attention. And if you're keen to get involved yourself as well, there's a Google form where you can sign up to be a voice actor, an animator, or a composer. If you are so lucky to have any of one of those three talents, please contribute. It will be so cool. And relating to Brick Film Day, but not quite, doing a bit of brick filming stuff, I worked on a Brawl entry this past year as well. It was a film entitled Lucia, and it was a film I worked on with Lewis Townley of Bricks and Pieces Animation, and Jared Van Bever, and John Mickerly, and just a lot of past-time collaborators. Also Darth Levy, I don't want to leave you out, Levi Johnson. And that's a really heartfelt film about a father and daughter relationship. I did the music for that one, which I'm also proud of. So yeah, I've been working on all of these films. The big one really being this feature film, which I've been working on now, I guess, in some ways for the past 2+ years. I'm hoping to finish that at the end of this year, now that I have reshot so much of it. But I guess it remains to be seen. It feels like a little bit of a weight on me, but at this point I can't not finish it. As a tribute to everyone who helped me kind of get this far with it again, and also just, I guess, as a personal point to myself, gotta have integrity of some kind, I guess. There'll probably be some updates and trailers and stuff about that later on in the year. And yeah, that's about it. I also wanted to say that I am really grateful to all of you who watched the films I put out last year and commented things and shared things, because undergoing a mental headspace like that for so long, there was a significant lack of self-worth I was facing, and so whatever substitutes I could find for that were healthy meant a lot to me. And I remember at some point last year on Instagram, I wrote a post about a film I just put out called In Time All Worldly Things Too Will End, and I opened up a lot about the negativities of my headspace and how low I was feeling, and that was one of my most liked and supported posts of that year. And so thank you to everyone in my audience. You guys are freaking wonderful. You're probably a wonderful human being if you're watching this. And that's all I really have to say. So thank you so much for watching. You can check out all of these links down below for the films I've mentioned as such, because they're not on my channel. And because I tend to intellectualize stuff so much and try to be profound in freaking all these films, I feel like I haven't done that much in this film. I gotta stick to my brand. I'll just say, remember to be kind to yourself, remember to be patient with yourself, and remember to rest. And remember to be yourself. And don't get too freaked out. And if the best you can do is being a little freaked out, that's also okay. I'm in Stratford-upon-Avon. There's a big, beautiful church behind me. Shout out to William Shakespeare. Thank you. Cool, that's nice. Oh, man.